All right, here we go. Okay. Dealer comes out, extends the low, peak formation low for the week. Okay? Peak formation low. I know I'm a terrible artist, sorry. The dealer rises, confuses everybody with this choppy crap in here, but we all know he's working the crosses. It's garbage. He ends the day high, comes back into consolidation. Okay? Do not counter trade this. It's crap. DNC, do not counter. You know better. What do you expect? You expect peak formation low. This is what I expect. Guess what? He offers it to you crystal clear. Boom, boom, boom. Take the trade. You got him. Plus 50 all day. Okay, do you understand? This is a safety trade. It is 75 pips in this example. This box is 50. 75 pips off of the blue tracer. The dealer comes out of the Asian session, vectors in 3 moves to the low. Man, I just can't please you guys with this pen color thing. All right, listen, I think white would be best. How about yellow? You guys are killing me. All right, look, peak formation. Is that better? Now that looks bad too, right? Let me see. Choose a pen color. Custom color. Custom. I have to customize and make white. Something happened. Hot pink. Okay, let's see. All right, surely this is visible now. All right, here we go. I'm trying, guys. All right. How do we know that this is level 3? Anybody? Head and shoulders is present. Chop. Dealer makes the chop at level 3, head and shoulders. Okay? The dealer hits it, amputate the shoulder over here. We don't care about this crap. It's in the past. Dealer makes the perfect W formation at the peak formation low of the week and rises. By the way, this is Monday, Tuesday. The dealer makes a midweek reversal with a head and shoulders pattern. Never saw that coming. Okay? We know he's been dropping because the EMAs are open, wide open. Okay? Peak formation, dealer rises off the W. Goes in the chop, confuses everybody, works the crosses, breaks out for the US, ends the day. High minus the low divided by 2, about mid-range. The dealer comes back and makes a visible stop hunt. 1, 2, 3 hits to the low. I know he just misses the stop hunt box, but don't let that upset you. You're good. Okay? 75 pips off of the blue tracer. This trade's a lock. Grab it in here. Plus 50. Got him. This is the kind of trade that you back up the brain trucks on. Okay? It's going to pay. Safety trade. This is why it's safe. Because you know the direction. You have a 1-day lock on the directional bias. You know the lock is good for 3 days. If the dealer comes out and does this and extends the low and doesn't make a second leg, he might come back to the low or he might come back and break this. That's why you don't counter. You're looking for this. You don't know what he's going to do here. If you counter this and he straight rises, he screwed you up, man. You only take the W and M formations in line with the peak, and that is it. That's the trade. Okay? Let's look at another one. Okay? Here it is again. This is in essence a V bottom, but I want to show you what happened. Averages are fanned out. Dealer's been dropping. Boom, boom, boom. There's your kind of quasi head and shoulders. The dealer goes up, makes the M, ends the day back in consolidation. Now, he does not make a visible stop hunt. Why? Because he doesn't exploit the Asian range. He doesn't break the Asian range. And those of you that are struggling, only take the ones where he breaks the Asian range. So you went from 20 trades down to 5 or 6. Ooh, 1 trade a day, that'll kill me. You're going to make plus 50, have no losers. You could pile on the contracts as time goes on, and you become successful. Okay, that's the point anyway, isn't it? To leverage your time. Okay, now, he did something for you. He offered you a gift in this chart. Anybody? Yeah, baby, 2 pins to the mayonnaise. Okay, look. The stop hunt is not below the Asian box, but if you know that you got the peak formation lock with a head and shoulders to the low, and this is locked in, he pulls away, the pattern is confirmed. The dealer, you expect the dealer to straight rise, or you expect the dealer to make a visible stop hunt. He uses the 200 EMA as support, and you got him. What I want you to learn is to stop trading this crap and then accusing me of a failed system. Okay? This is the directional bias as locked in from the LOW, low of the week. Comes in around Tuesday instead of Wednesday. So now, I saw the lock, right? This is what I got. I come to my terminal in the afternoon because I wake up late, around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I look at the chart. Here's what I'm saying to myself. Okay, let's do this. Let me see. I come to my terminal, and this day hasn't started yet, right? I'm here. I see the M formation, and I know he's going to end the day back in consolidation. I go out, go to the Cheesecake Factory, take my wife, and go eat something, go to the gym, whatever. Right? Now, I'm sitting here, and it is 5, 6 o'clock at night. Here's what I'm saying to myself. The dealer made the LOW, the low of the week. What do I expect? I expect him to, 1 or 2 plays coming off the peak formation, always. Straight rise or a visible stop hunt that I can exploit in my favor. That's it. That's all he's got. What else can he do? 1 or 2 things. Straight rise out of there and screw me up. Or make a clean, visible stop hunt in the shadow box and offer me a nice setup for the day. Okay? And he does just that. And if you took this right here, look, if you took this railroad track in the shadow box in line with the peak, you got him. Look, right there, bam. Good entry right here, and a good entry right here. Either one. Pins off the mayonnaise. Into the London session, in line with the peak formation low. Okay? Tying your 4-hour charts together. You identified psychological support and resistance. You saw a false move week beginning. The dealer has made the peak formation low for the week. You saw the peak formation lock. Open up your 4-hour chart. You see, man, there's a 4-hour candle that happens to be all the way on the bottom, the lowest point of the week. The dealer has now moved away from there for the last 15 hours, 16 hours. I'm pretty sure Steve told me that if the low is formed, the dealer goes into consolidation, tomorrow I can expect one of 2 things. Straight rise or visible stop hunt rise. I want the visible stop hunt. I want a clear, concise move. Okay, Alex, good question. And I don't know how many times I have to say it one more time. How do we know that this is not the low? All right, you ready? Welcome to the candy shop. Don't trade until they hit the stops. Woo! All right, man, you got it? Don't trade until they freaking hit the stops. That's it. End of story. Don't ask me again. Not you, Alex. Anybody. Do not take a position until the dealer burns the stops. Period. That's why you're getting burned. Because you're getting in on something that's not a stop hunt. We trade the stop hunts in this business, in this group. We wait for the dealer to show his hand by triggering the stops. When he triggers the stops, come to Papa, baby, I got you. Any other setup without a stop hunt is a shit gamble. Did I make myself clear? Don't trade until he hits the stops. I'm a little fired up, Rusty. I love this stuff, man. I just want you guys to get it. Alex, the answer to the rest of that question is time of day. You don't take stuff late in the U.S. session. The recordings are up. Go look at them. Welcome to the candy shop. Don't trade until he hits the stops. Woo! All right, I don't know how much worse I could sing than that for you guys. Okay, look. The dealer makes his rise, goes into consolidation. He makes a visible W stop hunt. You take them. You got it? In line with the peak. You own them. Okay. One more. Okay, look. See this right here? You know why that exists. Especially if you came over to me from Craig Harris. You know why that exists. That move exists for the benefit of you breakout traders. Okay? Look at it again. Peak formation low. Shoulder. W head. Shoulder. Oh man, he hit it again right in my face. Okay? See it? This is a no-go. Do not fall for that. Okay? That's the biggest problem a lot of you are having. You're taking any move out of the box and you're going, but Steve, it went up. Some of those pay out, some of those don't. Helen, you're right on, baby. This is, look, obviously, if he does this, this is a better entry if he goes down to the stop hunt zone. But I want you to understand that these are valid, aggressive sets. The dealer has made, he widened the swing going into the session to knock everybody out. He stayed in the range. He worked the crosses. There's a whole slew of other things going on here. I did enter after the railroad tracks right there. Because that, to me, was a second leg. I had to take a little heat when he came back, but it wasn't that hot. I was good. Okay? There's a whole reason why the dealer chopped for the session and moved in the Brinks shadow in the U.S. session. Dave, I can't say it any better, buddy. Trade away from the peak formation, and you have one good set a week per pair, maybe two, right? Look, if there's always a peak formation high that coincides with the stop hunt and the high of the week, or low of the week, in this example, the high, then your trade is this. Boom. Every day. Every time. That's your trade. Okay? The dealer makes the peak formation low, goes into consolidation, does this. Boom. That's your trade. Okay? So if he makes a high of the week and a low of the week, that's 2 trades per pair. Per week. If you only grab 1 per pair, you got 5 or 6 trades available to you, maybe more. How many do you want, you greedy bastards? I'm giving you trades that stack the odds extremely, extremely high in your favor. Isn't that why you're in the business? Understand? I promise you it's a work of art when you start to realize it. Okay, one more. One more to the downside. All right, look. I wanted you to keep cognizant of this. Like that fancy word? I looked it up right before I started tonight. I want you to keep in your mind 1 week flowing into the next. Hold on, I got to get a sip of Diet Coke. You guys are drying me up over here. You have Friday, trap move week ending, right? Remember I always told you they end the week on a trap. They pull back, go into consolidation. This happens to be Friday's peak formation high, right? It was also the high of the week. They ended it, and it was, anybody want to take a stab at what level this is? Look at the separation on the averages, okay? Now, notice something pretty cool. You bagged the first 8 hours of the session of the beginning of the week. Sorry, I didn't include this over here, okay? Listen, the first 8 hours of the week is the Asian session. Psychological support and resistance are established. Out to here, right? All the way out for the week. Now, here's your peak formation high. Peak formation high. I'm gonna have to take a class on how to draw with a mouse. My goodness. Okay. Peak formation high. The dealer runs up. He cuts the psychological support and resistance. I'm sorry, in this example, he extends the psychological resistance level above. Breakout traders go long. The dealer issues you a visible stop hunt above the blue box. And this is, yes, can be considered a V bottom. But the dealer made the high, pinned it, came back 45 minutes later, hit it again, failed to take it out. Remember, your 2 choices are dealer fails to take out the high with a swing high or swing failure swing. Somebody failed, I don't know. And then he takes out that high like this and then comes back below it. That's also a valid setup. Dealer makes a visible setup. You bagged him. You got him. Boom. Okay? Plus 50 to the 4 hour, you're out. One of the questions is, it's pertinent. Do we use TDI to confirm these? Yes, that's next week's lesson, my friend. Okay? Everybody see that? This is your set. Take a picture of this. Obviously, I'm going to give you some homework on it. This is what you're looking for. This is the trade. This is your signature trade. Everybody in here is trading this now. Whether you realize it or not, that's your new job. Your job is to find these sets using the 1 hour, 4 hour, 15 minute, I don't care what you want to use. Okay? Now, I want to tell you this. Some people posted in the forum, and I'm not offended, I understand, is that I'm using multiple time frame analysis. If that's what you want to call it, that's fine, but that's not what we're doing here. What we're doing is we're identifying the peak formation high or high of the week and the peak formation low or low of the week, which is the highest point on a chart within the week or the lowest point on the chart within the week. We are simply waiting for the dealer to pull away from there, and we are waiting for a visible stop hunt from the dealer to confirm what we are seeing as a lock for the level. Okay, it sounds like a mouthful. Just take the safety trade, man, and be happy. All right, I promise you, once you understand this and you start looking for this, you can anticipate it. Okay, if I see this, right? If I see this move right here, let me erase my little marks for you guys. If I see this, and I happen to be sleeping, or I wake up and see this, and I go, man, that's Friday's high. Okay, I could think about it all weekend, Sunday, Monday. All right, this was the peak formation high. What do I expect? Okay, I expect the dealer to make a stop hunt drop or a straight drop. If he makes the straight drop, I'm not countering him back to the high. That's suckers. Don't be a sucker. But I will take a move back towards the high short in line with the peak as long as the peak holds. Understand? And then if he goes back up here, that's a whole nother setup. That's a multi-session. Okay? What I'm telling you is the safety trade is after the level is locked, the dealer makes a visible stop hunt 25 to 75 pips off of the previous high or previous low, and he issues you a second leg. Lights out, baby. Okay? Good? Good stuff. All right. Okay, now, obviously to add to it, we already said it. All right, Diet Coke in the house. Okay. Add a moving average or pivot point for strong confluence. The dealer can repeat the level. I just illustrated this. But it's got to hold. He can make a stop hunt below and come right back above. The level has to hold. Okay, part of the rules. Look for the stop hunt to come in around 25 to 75 pips off of the LOW or HOW anchor point. So in essence, what you have going on is you're trading off of the anchor point. Some of you guys are saying, I can't identify level 3. I can't identify this. I can't identify that. I'm telling you how to identify it. You take the trade in line with the peak formation that was previously formed from yesterday. And that, my friends, is a lock. Okay? So you're taking V1 and A1 trades. All right, remember the cycle? Anchor, V, V, M. And if you don't remember the cycle, go look at Australian from last week and this week. A work of art. V1, V2. Reversal. MR. Okay? Now, you got the lock right here. Dealer comes back, makes the V. If he gives you a second leg, it's very simple and easy to see. You got him. Okay? That's it. And the exact opposite the other way. M, anchor point. A1, or caret 1, I don't know what that is. Inverted V to WR, reversal. W as a reversal. Okay? Peak formation high. Dealer comes back. If he gives you a second leg, you own him. If he gives you a second M, you own him. No. Al asked a good question. Are V1 and A1 trades more reliable than A2? No, I'm not saying they're more reliable. They're just absolutely easier to see. The problem that a lot of people are having is that they're not understanding what level they're in and they're counter trading back towards the peaks. So what I'm giving you is I'm giving you the first 2 days of the cycle. I'm giving you anchor. Let me erase this. Hold on, sorry. I'm giving you identify the anchor point. That's the only level you need to be concerned about right now is it anchored? Yep, it's anchored. Well, what about intraday, Steve? It went 1, 2, 3.5. Doesn't matter. I don't care. Okay? Dealer goes into consolidation. I'm telling you what he's going to do next and what you expect him to do next. What I expect him to do next is this, right? This, or this. That's the only 3 plays from there. So now, the straightaway is tough to see, and one of the problems that a lot of people are making, and I've seen it, is that, remember the dealer makes a high from the U.S. session off the peak, right? This is the U.S. high, then he pulls back and goes into consolidation, then he breaks high as a straightaway movement, and then you guys counter this back and go, but Steve, it was a multi-session M. And you trade back towards the peak, right? That's what's happening to a lot of you guys. I've seen it in the emails. That's why I'm addressing it right now. So what I'm telling you is that you're looking at 2 pieces of the cycle, the most 2 important pieces. You're identifying, understand that there's a tracer in here and separates the day. This is day 1, anchor, day 2. What I'm telling you is you become a day 2 trader with a visible stop hunt in line with the peak as a safety set. And if that's the only trade you take, it's enough. Okay? Good stuff? All right. Okay, here it is again. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. There's actually 2 trades you could take in here. Here's your peak formation low from the U.S. session, right? This is GJ, by the way, pound yen. Okay, now, what happens? The dealer makes an M right here, but what did I tell you right here? Don't fall for that shit, because he could continue to rise from here. Don't take this. This is DNC, baby. It's not the demilitarized zone. It's a do not counter. That's the DMZ, right? All right, man, I can't draw it. It's DNC. Do not counter this back because the dealer can straight rise out of here. But what he does do in this example is he gives you a double bottom, multi-session W formation in the shadow in the U.S. session. That's a good trade. That's just as safe as the safety trade. Okay? That's just as clear as the safety trade. Now, consolidation's up here. Steve, I see an M and I see a W. Hell yeah, you see an M and a W. So do I. I'm not retarded or blind. How do I know to take the W and not the M? Let me put it to bed for you once and for all so you know. The answer, my friends, is not blown in the wind. It's trading in line with the peak. The answer is you have a double bottom anchor from Thursday and Friday. Sunday and Monday, the dealer makes a visible stop hunt to the downside and rises. Okay? Remember why this move exists. This move exists for the, I can't think of the name of that breakout EA. I think it's Artemis. This move exists for the guys that bracket this information right here. Look, what do people do? They bracket and they trade the break high and the break low. And they keep swinging back and forth. What I'm telling you is that this maybe can be conceived as a V bottom. That's fine. Okay? The best possible confirmation for this trade is a second leg W. That's it. Okay? Understand? That's the safety trade. 25 to 75 pips off of the blue tracer in line with the peak formation from the previous days. This is your trade. All right. One more. This one's beautiful. Okay? This one's from the pound from not that long ago. Today's the 28th. This might be last year, though. I can't remember. Here you go. Comes in, fakes in the U.S. session past the 4 hour, pulls back, goes into consolidation. Steve, I shorted the M and it didn't pay out that much. What's my problem? Your problem is you missed this big monster W formation as an anchor right there, right? But what does the dealer do? He comes in, he offers it up 3 times. Isn't that the same thing he just did in Australian? Look at that. Okay, Patricia, I'll answer you in a second. Do you see it? Shark fin, blood in the water, just outside the stop hunt zone. And by the way, I thought it was kind of funny, is if you notice I dragged in the white lines from last week. Let me back up and clean this off. I forgot that I did that, and I wanted to talk to you all about it. Okay, look. This is the Asian range from last week. I popped it in here, and look what he does. The dealer pins to it. It doesn't break it, and just so happens to have the 4 hour in there. Pretty crazy, right? Okay. You could have got in here thinking it was a W formation, but guess what? The dealer's generous. He doesn't come back too far to get you out. Okay. So same thing like Australian. You got to take a little heat. Either one. Okay? Pins to the blueberry, baby. Pins to the mayo, pins to the blueberry. Same stuff. This gives you a directional bias. So what you're looking at is peak formation high or low is formed. The dealer pulls off aggressively, 1 times ADR perhaps. The distance from here to here comes back into consolidation. Right? Blah, blah, blah. The dealer makes a stop hunt in favor of the peak formation level, in line with the peak formation level, whatever you want to say, and he rises like a nutcase. Straight through. Okay? For novices, I want to see the dealer break the Asian low. That is a true stop hunt. A true stop hunt is higher or lower than the blue box right here. Look at all that work, man. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You know it's coming. Okay? This is a do not counter situation. This will confuse you. And what people are doing is taking this, and it doesn't offer up many pips, and then you get mad at me. Okay? Sunday is not day 1. When the peak formation is formed, this is day 1. Peak formation, day 2. Day 3, looking for the reversal, maybe one more day of rise. Okay, you got rise from here to here. You got rise from here to the end of the day. And then the next night you start to see some rise but chop also. Okay? All right, let me see. This is exactly, look, moving averages are crossed over. Price is dropping, 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 dropping. Dealer makes the peak, comes out the next night, hits it 3 times. Okay, I took it on the second one, just like you figured. Guess what? He's my bitch. All right, and if I offended anybody with that comment, I'm sorry. Understand? Peak formation, it's a lock. I know which way it's going. I can anticipate this trade from the afternoon all the way into the middle of the night. I know what he's going to do. I don't fall for this crap because it's against the directional bias. Okay?